Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of everything. We're going to be hanging out in the garden, we're going to check on the chickens, we are going to be doing a little bit of grocery shopping, some cooking, some restocking, you name it, we're doing it today. Oh, and of course some cleaning. If you're new here, my name is Nicholsen. I love to share all things homemaking. I'd love it if you would subscribe, and if you're returning, it is so great to see you. Okay guys, let's jump into this beautiful day. First thing I need to do is do a little meal planning, then we're going to head out to the grocery store. Today I am making one of my favorite things of all time for my kids, which is chicken parm, but we're going to do a twist and I'll share it with you shortly. I had a really short list of things I wanted to grab at the store. I wanted to put some more florals around the house, and when I went outside I saw some boxes, so we're gonna bring those in. I saw this thing called, I think it's called a Huggable, but it looks so, I'm a side sleeper and it looks so comfortable, and I purchased it. I will link it down below and share it with you later in this video. It was so cozy. Anyway, so we're gonna bring that in, and then I'm gonna get a bit sidetracked, share a little bit about Factor meals, and then we're gonna go grocery shopping and get into this day. I cannot believe my Factor meal was on the porch today. So I went grocery shopping to get everything we needed for today's video, and I was like, I am starving. I'm going to DoorDash something. I don't have time to make food. And my Factor meals were on my porch, you guys. Oh my God, I was so excited. If you aren't familiar with Factor, they make meeting your nutrition goals easier and more delicious than ever by delivering fresh, never frozen, dietitian approved meals right to your doorstep. Their team of gourmet chefs make every meal using ingredients with integrity that lasts a long time, and oh my gosh, are they delicious. My husband and I love Factor. This is typically what I eat for lunch. I know that I cook a lot, but I don't want to cook 3 meals a day. I'm not a big breakfast girl, but I love me a big lunch, and Factor meal always has me covered. It is stress-free, so delicious, easy to eat, easy to make. I love that you can get different options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, Veggie, Vegan. They have 60 add-ons every week, like breakfast. If you are a breakfast girly, they got you covered. They have beverages. I love it. Their fresh squeezed juices. They have over 35 meals to choose from per week. You can skip it if you need to. They just have you covered for all the things. It is not overpriced. They take the kind of the takeout trap, the DoorDash, if you will, price tax out, and they just get you great food delivered right to your house. I also am obsessed with their Gourmet Plus meals, and they just offer your weekly options right there on the app, or you can go online, pick what they are. They get arrived, I think it's Tuesdays they come, and they are just super delicious. So if you want to cut down on grocery trips, cooking, and enjoy more flexible ways of eating extremely healthy food every single day, you have got to check out Factor and stock up your refrigerator today. All you have to do is head to factor75.com or click the link and use my code 50LaurenN to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50LaurenN at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. You will not want to miss this. This is a game changer and so delicious. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring today's video, and let's jump right into this beautiful day. So now that we have our grocery shopping done, we have full tummies from our Factor meals, and Tuna is just enjoying a little sunbathing here on the fountain. I wanted to head into the garden and just do a little tidying. The girls were out. They were loving life in this beautiful sun. It is currently pouring rain today, which is such a bummer, but the chickabooms were out having such a good time. They are going to help us do a little gardening. So I just wanted to check on these 2 beds and just see how things are coming along. The carrots are taking a rather long time, but our greens are ready to majority of them be harvested. So I'm going to be bringing in some collard greens, some kale, and some Swiss chard. I just wanted to get as much in the house as possible. I love cooking with them, even if you just wilt them down with some shallots, some vegetables. I add them in a frittata this morning, which was really good. My onions and carrots and celery are very slow to kind of get robust and big. I'm wondering if that's because of the greenhouse, if they're not getting enough sun, if they're not getting maybe enough water. I don't know. But we're going to keep chugging along with this particular garden. And it's very funny because I always feel like the chickens are the worst to my garden. They're always eating all the things and just getting in here. But today I was proven wrong when I found all the cats laying in here. I don't know. They've been jumping in and just laying in here. It's hilarious. I don't get super mad at them. I mean, I love our pets, so it's not that deep for me. These greens will get harvested today. We will soak them in some vinegar so they're nice and clean. But Henry made himself a little home in here while I was harvesting all of this Tuscan kale, but so cute. But let's get harvesting. I cannot wait. I was missing Enzo on this particular day. She did not come out, but it was really nice to have Pepe there, Tuna, and Henry, and all the chickens were at my feet. They were very good and did not jump into the garden this day, but the cats, they kind of made themselves a little nest in there. So I was just really, it's such a wonderful thing. You guys know I love gardening. It's such a peaceful part of my day, but I also love it when either the kids or my pets are out here harvesting with me. It's just so wonderful. Henry, we're going to have to pick him up. Pepe at one point was sitting in here as well, laying in the sun. Oh man, I can't win for losing here with these pets, but I'm going to remove them so I can put the greenhouse back on top and we can move on. I also wanted to check to see if the chickens had laid any eggs. They have been laying so much. I'm getting on average about 5 eggs a day, which is pretty good considering the age of our chickens. But we just had a rainstorm, then it got really sunny, and then we had another rainstorm. So sometimes the eggs get really dirty. So we need to check that and make sure they're doing well. But I pulled Henry out of the garden. If you guys want to give him some love, you can give this video a thumbs up. Pepe was very jealous and wanted all Henry's attention. So I will let them continue to play while we pop the greenhouses back onto our garden and we continue to try to keep them growing. Again, this particular bed wasn't growing as fast in this particular part of the week, but later in the week it starts to blossom again. So I think we just needed a little more sun because it has been raining here a lot. The last thing I'm going to do is go over to my little lettuce bed and just kind of clean it up. Some of the leaves were starting to turn yellow, so I wanted to remove those to continue to force it to grow a little bit bigger, even though they're mini gems. I am going to be having a dinner party, so I kind of wanted to wait a little bit longer so I could harvest those and use them for that particular dinner. But now that we have the 2 main beds nice and tidy, I also had a chance to kind of clean up the lettuce patch. I wanted to go love on the animals a bit. Tuna was being so sweet and loving this particular day. Sometimes she likes to run away because the chickens are there. And then Salty was here just waiting for her lovies the entire time I was out here. She was just sitting there like, when is it my turn? When is it my turn? She is such a love. So oftentimes, because she's the one chicken that loves to be held and like pampered, I'll walk around the garden and just pick the tops of everything to see what she likes. I know that she loves the herb garden. She couldn't really care less about the carrots and the celery and the fennel. I guess if there's one thing she likes from this entire bed, it'd be a little bit of the onion tops sometimes, but mostly the carrot tops. And then she loves herself some parsley and some cilantro. That's her jam. So we pretty much will walk the garden every day, even if I'm not in here kind of tidying things up. I will get Salty and we'll take a nice walk and talk. We'll talk about how everything's growing, and she's just such a love. Well, Blanca and Pump will do their dirt bathing over here, and they're just 2 peas in a pod, those two. So the last thing we need to do is jump into the chicken coop and see if we have any eggs, which I'm so happy to say the girls are back laying, thank goodness. Typically feed the chickens in the morning. I don't feed them at night or anything. And the top to their food I had removed just to see how much we had. And Salt got so excited. She's like, I need to jump in there. I need to eat that food. So I just let her. I was like, girl, you do you. And then it was kind of funny. I went to go get the basket for the eggs, and Pump came over and he's like, hey, what's going on in there? And then Blanca came over. She's like, wait, I need to get down on this. I can't believe the food bin is open. And then pepper came over, and then cocoa meat. I mean, I don't know where buttercream was, but buttercream would have been all over this. So I just let them kind of have a feast while I collected all the eggs, and I couldn't believe how many eggs were in here. My girls went crazy. So the first thing I'm going to do is get all of these into a bed of water, and I'm going to add a little vinegar in there and let that soak for about a half an hour. And once those are done, I will actually need to add the eggs in here just to wash them off because they were very, very dirty just because of the rain and whatnot that we just had. So we're going to clean those off, get those clean and ready to make all kinds of delicious food with. And then I was going to make chicken parm, and then I was looking in this new recipe book and I saw a chicken parm sandwich, and I thought I would make it but do my own twist on it. How beautiful are these greens? I feel like these are just the most beautiful, gorgeous, like waxy, good, strong greens. I cannot wait to chop these up and eat them. I love to eat these with just eggs in the morning. They are so good. Again, I've shared many times, I'm a very savory breakfast gal. So I like to chop those up with some onions, bell pepper, and some eggs. It's just so, so good. So I'm going to get everything out that we need for lunch today. I ended up actually making this for my husband and I for dinner, but my son was here with his best friend and they were hungry, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make this. This is the book it came from. I just picked that up from Target, and I'm going to grab the recipe. Just take a quick glance at it. I make chicken parm all the time, but I kind of wanted to see if she had any neat ideas for how to put it together. So I also need to do my floral arrangements. I kind of wanted to get that done and out of the way so the flowers weren't just laying on the counter while we were cooking. So we're just going to throw those into these really cute new little vases I got from Walmart. I think they were like $14. They're really, really cute. So we're going to add those. I get comments all the time about lilies. Lilies were my mom's favorite flower, and I always love to have them out, especially here in the kitchen around her. And my cats have never, ever really gotten interested in my floral arrangement. So I'm very lucky, but thank you for sharing that they're toxic. Luckily, my cats could not care less. They prefer to be in the garden, laying with my greens, than playing with my lilies. Light a couple candles, clean up from the florals. I also want to remove all of our greens from the sink, and then I want to add the eggs in. That way each one gets enough time to soak, and then we are going to get started on dinner. I was really impressed with not only how incredible these greens were, but how well they held up, because I didn't use all of them in the first couple days and they did not wilt. They stayed strong and they stayed delicious. So I was very, very pleased with that. It's the first time I've been able to actually do that. Plus they keep regrowing, so it seems like the more I clip them back, the faster and larger they've been growing. So, and my carrots, which were very small, looked very good too. So hopefully they grow a lot bigger over the course of the next 2 months. So to make the chicken parm, I'm just going to add some of our eggs to a little bowl. I'm going to do panko and flour. I usually will do, I will coat the chicken in flour, then dip it in the egg, and then finish it with panko, and then deep fry it here on the stove. I do it low and slow. I take my time so you don't burn any of that panko, and it turns out absolutely perfect. You can also add Parmesan cheese as as the recipe suggested, but for whatever reason, I just don't like doing that. My son was so sweet. He came over to help me cook, and I was so impressed that he knew to check and see how far away lunch was by seeing how hot the oil was. Smart kid. I told him to go have fun with his friend. I'll go ahead and whip this together for them. They were both starving, and well, frankly, I was in the mood to cook, so it was a perfect match. So we are going to get these in the oil, and I will show you how I pulled this sandwich off. It was extremely easy to make. You could also just do these. I chopped a bunch of these up for the kids, just making like chicken tenders for them. It's beyond easy. You could probably freeze them, although I've never done that before. I have a feeling they wouldn't be as crunchy, but delicious. Yes, I don't think they'd be crunchy though. So we are just going to make these for tonight. And then I have a couple other projects and some restocking and organization. I also am going to show you how the new bathroom turned out. I can't wait. While the chicken is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and get our bread ready. I decided to go with a focaccia just so that I knew the chicken was going to be pretty much the size of something that large. So I thought it'd be perfect to just drop the pieces of chicken right on top of this versus like a burger or something like that. So I'm just going to put some olive oil and then put it face down, and we're just going to put that in the oven for like 5 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. Then we're going to be topping this with some different things. I'm going to not only be doing a marinara, but I'm also going to be doing like a thick romesco paste just to give it some more flavor. I'm going to be using some fresh mozzarella. I couldn't decide if I wanted to do burrata or mozzarella. I did mozzarella with you guys, but then later I did it with burrata, and both were absolutely delicious. So I'm going to clean up. All the chicken is done and ready. I'll give you a little fried chicken tour, if you will, and then we're going to throw these sandwiches together. Oh my gosh, these were so good. If you're looking for that extra crunch, definitely switch from breadcrumbs to panko. It gives it that very crunchy texture. And even if you were going to do this on like waffles, and it's just like the best fried chicken ever. So I am going to pull the bread out, and to make this, I'm just putting on some romesco paste I had left over, so I didn't want it to go to waste. And then I am going to add some marinara sauce to the other side, which will essentially be the bottom half. We're going to add marinara. We're going to add the chicken. We'll add more marinara, and then I'm going to put some fresh mozzarella on top. And then on the other side with the romesco, that will be your top, I am only going to be adding some Parmesan cheese. And I'm going to cook that halfway, pull that out, and then finish the bottom half until the cheese is melted. We're going to add some fresh basil to this. It is absolutely delicious. We're going to get the boys fed, and then we are going to head into our new bathroom and get that restocked. I also need to tidy up around the house, and the kitchen's a bit of a mess, so we're going to be cleaning that as well. These were so fun and delicious to make. I can't tell you how absolutely easy this was. It also made me miss having like meatball subs. So I think the next sandwich I'm going to make is going to be a meatball sub. I'll show you how this turned out. If you are looking for this recipe, definitely check out that book. It's at Target. It was so good, had some great recipes in here, but that's how mine turned out. I did a little bit of a different variation, but still turned out you can't really go wrong with chicken parm. So before I head into the other room and get started on my next project, I wanted to remove all the eggs from this water and just kind of wash them off. They're really, really, really dirty, and then get them set aside. I've got my greens going. I also wanted to just tidy up the kitchen, all of the bowls we used to prepare the chicken parm. I wanted to get those washed, put into the dishwasher, and that way when I come back in here later, I had one goal, which was to, at the very latest by 5, like 4:45, 5 o'clock, to be sitting by the fire and just be able to relax, have a glass of wine, and just wind down from the day. It was a very long day. I had a lot of other stuff going on, and not everything I do during the day I film, and I really wanted to read. I haven't kind of had some time to spend reading in my Kindle, so I was like, I'm gonna look for books and I'm just gonna sit down, and for 45 minutes I'm gonna light some candles and just chill. So I was very much looking forward to that, and honestly it was fueling me to get so much more done. But the last thing I wanted to do was to tackle these projects that I had today and then have to come in here and clean before I got to sit down on the couch and relax. So that was motivating me to get everything tucked away, cleaned up, ready to go for the evening. We ended up doing chicken parm sandwiches for our family since I only fed my son and his friend. So that was really easy. It was one less thing I needed to do. But for me, it was just really, really important to get the house cleaned so I could come in here and have a little bit of downtime. Couldn't help myself. I had to open up that, it's called a huggle, I guess. I had to open it, and I was like, well, I don't want the box sitting here. And so I opened it and I had to try it out because it just looks so cozy. I do wish it was just a little bit more plush. But when I sleep with it at night, like if it was too plush, I think it would be too much, and it's also still fluffing up. But anyway, it was super cozy. So if you guys are looking, if you are a side sleeper, I am a side sleeper, but my issue is I go back and forth. And so I always move my pillow from, like, if I'm going one way, I have to pull the pillow with me the other way. This way, I can just roll over and I have like the pillow next to me. I don't know why I've slept that way. My mom slept that way. My sister, I just feel like that's just the way we all sleep. I just love it. So anyway, I will link it down below. This was an absolute impulse buy, but it was very cozy, and I had to try it out in my bed. And then Pepe joined me, and we just had a little cozy rest before we got on with the rest of our evening. Pepe and I thoroughly enjoyed the Huggle. I'll tell you, it felt like an adult, like an adult-sized DockATot. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, but Google search them. But DockATot is for like putting a baby in a bed. It felt like an adult version of that. It was very comfortable. But one thing I really needed to do, our bathroom is finished. I have some finishing touches I need to add in here, but I was very happy to see that our guest bathroom is done. I had all of this stuff I wanted to put in here before, and I just never had anywhere to put it. This is really for guests. But I didn't have any way of organizing it, so I'm just going to add it in here really easily to organize later. But like when we have guests, we have people here all the time, whether they're kids, whether they're friends of ours having dinner or parents, whatever. I just want to always have stuff. If somebody needs something, I always like it to be accessible where they don't feel like they have to ask for anything. And just say, if you need anything, like when people come over, if you need anything and you can't find it in the guest bathroom, let me know. But there's pretty much anything you would ever need in there. I have everything from like toothbrushes, toothpaste, floss, hairbrushes, hairspray, deodorant, Tide sticks. We have pets, so I like to have those lint rollers for people. And then like feminine products, just eye drops, just in case you have dry eyes. Sometimes it can get really windy here because we're right at the foothill of a mountain. And it's just things over the years I've heard people mention, like having dry eyes. So I just like to have that type of stuff here. And I got most of this at in the travel section at Target. So it was really easy and super affordable. Plus, it's just a very hospitable way of making someone feel home when they're at our house. I am so happy I finally got that bathroom done. I will do a larger reveal because we're still working on it, but it is officially my turn to sit down for the next 45 minutes to an hour and read, have a nice glass of wine, unwind. I get my wine from Naked Wine, so if you guys want to check that out, I will link it down below because they're always offering us $100 off our first case, so that's always great, and their wines are just delicious. I would love to know in the comments, what should I be reading right now? I love nonfiction more than anything, but I also love a good love story. So please share something that you love or a book you'd recommend to us down below. I'd love to start a little book club where we share books that we love, because now that I am in my stay-at-home mom era, I am reading more than ever. And it's not just business stuff. Like I used to read a lot of stuff about business, and now I get to read whatever I want. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go relax, and I'll see you in the next video real soon. Bye.